Sorry about that. We're back. Yeah, ever since one time I decided to not take a movement upgrade, I ended up failing about half of my go for it's, and that leads to a lot of turnovers. So anyway, he tried for the one turner. It seemed like again he pushed, or he knocked the guy over because he got attacker down, defender down. I remember that, but it's not here. And because my guys are, some of them are already laying on the ground, and there's like this nice little like ready-made pocket over here. This is where you're gonna see him try to move the ball. Alright, we're just gonna speed this up a bit. Zoom. Okay. So now what I'm thinking is, okay, he's setting up a, you know, a nice little, like screen for somebody that's gonna stand like right where this little goblin is right now. Instead, what you see is him throw the ball to this guy. Now, I don't know why he did this. I already have a guy that's right here. And even after that, he should have moved this loner probably right here or right here. Either way, it would have been better than where he moved him to. So this elf player was spectacular on defense, but on offense he plays a very risky game. Which I'm sure, you know, for elves, I mean, this will work great fairly often. So moving my guys over. I'm not doing any go for it's, even though for obvious reasons. Even though it'd be better to have, like, say, this guy over here somewhere. But you can't have everything. Again, I didn't make any go for it, but it'd be better if he was over here somewhere. I used my reroll dodging away, so I couldn't reroll the hit on this guy. Okay, so what you're gonna see here, okay, that's a good move. And here you see the power of wrestle. Like, it took away his guy's tackle zone. Even if he had block, this would have been same result. So here he makes, in my opinion, his biggest mistake of the game. I don't know why he bothered to try to throw this ball. Because, okay, if you look here, right, he had this guy down here. If he'd put this thrower, or this catcher, like right here, he'd brought this loner to, say, here, and then he had his War Dancer over here somewhere, he would have had an effective screen. I couldn't have really gotten to this ball carrier very easily. I'd have to blitz somebody, and then put a tackle zone on him. And then he dodges away. He has dodge and agility for it. Instead, what you see is an attempted pass that that failed. I mean, you could say it's unlucky that he failed, but at the same time, there was no reason for it. He could have taken an extra turn to make sure he scored. So Also, when you're trying to cover the ball, you don't necessarily need to have all these, you don't have to be, you don't want anybody touching your guys that are covering the ball. So this is not optimal right here. Although he is only strike 2. My guy doesn't have guard. Right up here, I'm doing a pretty effective job of locking down his players. He needs a 4+ to get out. He's got the reroll. Here I am hurting players, which is good if you're playing the bashy game. Something to keep in mind though, I've used 2 rerolls. I used 2 rerolls basically my first turn. So what I'm doing now is I took that attacker down just because I didn't think that this player was going to be a big deal. And at the same time, I'm going to need this reroll later, I think to myself. So again, this is the Elf offense. He plays high risk, high reward kind of game. But I think you need to find kind of a happy medium. So again, he failed to score here. But if he'd made that and then another go for it, he could have handed off to this catcher, which would have been good. But okay, so Elf player's not winning right now, despite me saying that this is the way to stop the cage. But if you look in the first half, if he had run a regular offense instead of gone for the one-turner, this would be a tied game. If he had screened off here and made the score this time, he would actually be winning right now, and I would have like 5 or 6 turns to score back against his defense. So, like I said, this is the way to do it. This is the way to stop the cage.
Oh. 7 out.
You don't leave people on the sideline either. I remember right before I charged that guy down, he asked me to kill his players because he was going to get rid of them all. I don't know why I moved my ogre down here. That's pretty stupid. I guess because he was at a rerolls and having 3 tackle zones on the ball would make it almost impossible to get to, unless he blitzed one of my guys and did the thing. Anyway, you see me form my tight cage again, and I mean, that's pretty much all she wrote. This elf player makes a lot of go-for-its too. I don't like go-for-its. Alright, so what he's trying to do now is he's trying to put as many tackle zones on the ball as he can, or on the cage as he can. What he needs to is throw getting hurt. So basically what I have to try to do here is get all of these players that are touching my... crowd surf that guy. I don't want him touching